the university started being serious of the food outlets on campus.
She passed away because of the
It was said to be food poisoning and what. She ate at the cafeteria. To date, the cafeteria of the university has closed. The people that were working here went to work as security, summer cleaners, because they were permanent. So at that point, also the university, I think it was the time of the VC, Professor De Beers, where they sent a letter to Mashau, telling him about.
Yeah, man. Welcome to another episode of Culture Spotlight. Today, we're out here at SMU, Medunsa. We're chilling with a man. I don't know how to introduce you, because this is like a first of the first. Like, you're literally breaking my virginity into this thing. Hey, you're literally like a virgin breaker for me. It's like, this is like a first chairperson, a first student leader. Skolo sempaletse na. But then okay, it's not the first time I'm like in this premises, but then it's only because of Groove and friends. But otherwise, your name is Mukhari Shikwambana.
No, my name is Hlayiseka.
Hlayiseka.
Then I'm a man with two surnames, so Shikwambana and Mukhari.
Why two surnames?
I'm using the surname of my grandmother, which is Shikwambana.
Yeah.
And my father's surname is Mukhari, so that is why I'm using both of them.
So like you double barrel, or it's one surname on the
not
ID?
Yes, I'm registered with Shikwambana here as a student.
And Shikwambana is your dad's?
Mukhari is my dad's. And then there's a process which we are embarking of changing to Mukhari. So, but Shikwambana is going to be a name and Mukhari is a name, because I'm a man. I don't want my kids to be called by my grandmother's surname. Yes.
What you mean? What is it about this thing of like surnames and not wanting to use the mother's side of things?
If maybe it was my mother's, it's my grandmother's. So also I'm a man. I'm responsible. I'm the only son. I'm responsible for growing my father's surname or my surname. That one is already grew. So I have to make sure that it grows. I think here at SMU there are less than 5 people using Mukhari. So I must make sure also that it goes places.
You represent? Yes,
I must represent very well.
So what do you mean by it's your grandmother's name and not your mother's name, surname?
My mother's surname is Shivori. And then my grandmother's surname is Shikwambana. So she was the one who was looking after me, also the things of grants, Yeah, she was the one. So there at Home Affairs, it says she's my biological mother, but obviously there was that process that was incorrect. So, but we're not going to rectify it. We'll just change it to Mukhari. Yes.
I was about to ask, do you want to rectify it, or you're okay with it being like that?
No, I'm okay with it, because I think it also assisted me with a lot of things. It was easy for me to get bursaries and other things. Yes, I deserved, but it was more easy because she was not married, also. So we just, and also her age.
Why is it marital status is a thing in terms of bursaries?
No, they always need those documents of the father, So we find that maybe sometimes the father is not available.
Yeah.
You have to go and look for a lot of things. But if it's only the mother and she's not married, just write an affidavit and bring copies. Now she's doing grant. Yeah. But I deserve, even if it's my mother. People must not watch this interview and target me.
Yeah, as long as they follow due process, then all is good.
Yeah.
So, was your father present throughout your life and everything?
Yeah, he was. He is still, but obviously there was that situation where my mother and my father, they had to be separated. But he was trying there.
Oh, so he was present, and
Yeah,
because
he
we always
wasn't.
hear that fathers run away and everything.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Just that I was not staying with him. I can't lie, but he was.
He tried.
Was there. Yeah. Yes.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Zanini.
Zanini.
Yes.
Oh man, it's a beautiful place. I was there. I think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful.
Tsonga, ne?
Yeah, it's Songa and Pedi. Yeah. So one thing I love about Zanini Zanin is that you'll be strong. You know?
What do you mean you'll be strong?
Strong you'll be a man. No, it's tough.
What is it to be a man?
Tough conditions there. There's a lot of bullying that you have to face as a young kid, you know.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm the only son. I didn't have brothers. I was coming from Guyana. I was born at Guyana.
Oh,
so moving that side, I was different. The way I was speaking, obviously also there my friends and those that I was playing with, they were Pedi people.
So in Guyana, it's like Pedis and vendors.
No, Guyana, it's Tongas and vendor. Yeah. So when you move to Zanini, then you realize that yes, Tonga and Pedi, but it's a different Tonga. So you find the way you pronounce and other things, then you get bullied a lot. But I had to stand for myself. And yeah, I think I conquered. I became the champ.
You became the champ.
Yes.
So they were bullying you by the way you talk, and this was during high school, and
I didn't even reach high school before we even went to school. Yes, but when I started doing grade 1, I was very strong. Yes, I was the one who was even defending the other one. So the bullying happened at the earlier days. I went when I was 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 there. Because I also went to school very late. With this thing, they changed the rules saying that you have to start at 7.
Oh, yeah,
so I started school, I think it was 2004.
You called 7 very late?
Yeah, it was because my siblings started when they were 6. And I think maybe if I started when I was 6, a lot would have changed. But not that I'm complaining. But
what would have changed?
I always say that because when I was doing my grade 12, you know, we didn't even have a maths teacher, while the previous year they had a teacher. So I think maybe I would have got
you were that. I'm trying to understand the kind of person you were in high school. So you were that person who was complaining about not having maths teachers, where other kids were celebrating.
Yeah, you know, there was, if I can start in my primary life, I was this boy who was not disciplined. I remember I had some few friends when I started doing grade 4.
Yeah.
Like we used to disrespect teachers so bad. Yeah. You know, and then there was a teacher. I once got promoted. I failed. There was a point where I failed when I was
You failed a year or a term?
Yes, when I was doing grade 1. I failed my grade 1.
You failed your grade 1?
Yes.
And then you still wanted to start school at 6?
Yes. The reason I failed, it was not because I was not smart, but it was, there was people that I was living with. There's a brother that is not from my mother, and the 2 guys. So they at that year, they started smoking. They didn't go to school.
You know, started smoking.
They were senior. They were senior to me. I was the youngest.
Oh,
yeah.
Senior,
I think the brother was 1988, and then the other ones was 1992. So I was staying with them. I was staying with them. So they had like a big influence. So you realize that time when they start smoking.
Yeah.
I would go to my mother, take money to eat at school, and then that money they use it for buying cigarettes and other things, and then we just play, we go to swim, we do a lot of wrong things. And then there was also a point where I broke my hand, and then I went to hospital. I think I stayed there for a good 3 weeks. So when I returned to school, they said, no, you can stay at home, no problem. Then I failed that grade, and then, but lucky enough, I got promoted. I did extremely well. So this teacher called Memangena, she knew my strength. She knew what I'm capable of. So when I was doing grade 4, when we were disrespecting the teachers with my other friends there, so she came to me. She had a mother talk to me, so saying, you know what, you are very smart. You will go far, but with the life that you are living, you won't go anywhere. Go and apologize, because there was this other teacher called Seshluvan. When he enters, we were going out, so we were not attending his.
You're doing all this in grade 4.
In grade 4, that's why I said, in Tzanini, there are tough conditions. So you feel like you have grown, you are a man, disrespect. Remember, we used to have a team where we had knives. We would beat an old person like it's
you had like a whole gang.
Yeah, we had, and I was a leader of that, but secretly, because my mother she's very strict. I think she's one person that made me to be where I am. Like she was very strict, and at that point, I could say she was a single parent, because I did say initially that I didn't stay with my but she was very strict, and I listened to her. Yeah.
So that's where you fail grade 1, you get promoted in grade 4.
I also got promoted.
Yeah, you get to skip a grade.
I skipped a grade.
You went back to your peers in grade 4. And then you move, you do your high school. Where are you doing your high school now?
It's called Dumela High. There I was a good boy. I was just...
Where is it located? In Zanin still?
It's in Zanin, yeah. The same village called Rolani in Juliusburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I did my grade 8 there until grade 12. Yeah, I was one of the brilliant students there. I think, yeah.
So, okay. So in your metric, how much... what am I saying? How much did you pass? How did you pass? How well did you do?
No, I think with the conditions that we were having, I think I did extremely well, because I was in a position to also get an award from the circuit around there.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say about my metric is that we were very united. We were a group of 10. I was doing the teaching with this guy called Clement, and is my former best friend. And
former? What do you mean former best friend?
And then also this guy called Nhlamulo. So we used to split, teach. And I think that year we did extremely well, to a point where we got an award, but we didn't have teachers. I remember when there's a chapter called it's a triangle geometry. This one that was introduced.
Yeah, the new one. With caps,
the new one. Yeah, so
traps, that one.
Yes, we didn't know that thing, Euclidean of triangle. Yes. So we didn't know that it exists, that thing, only in the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I got my marks for paper 2. There was this teacher called Senyanis that taught me grade 11. Was very angry. He told me I've changed. It was tough. I've changed. I won't even pass my metric. That was a motivation to me. Every time I get the criticism, it makes me to push, It
Yeah.
doesn't break me. That's who I am. I always push. I wanted to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So why is your friend, your former best friend, why is he a former best friend now?
Why I won't go into details, but something happened which I think we never spoke about it. I have pride.
Here's your chance. Yeah, here's your chance.
No.
That's why we're here to amend relationships.
No, it's too personal. I don't think we must go into it.
No, we have an open book.
No, if maybe it was here, then we
So
would talk about it.
why haven't you had the conversation with him?
I tried. I think maybe I was also still young. I was doing my third year in university, third year or honors.
Yeah.
I tried reaching out. He was not interested, and then I was like, okay, yeah. Then that's how we never spoke. We never met. I never heard from him. I asked sometimes, but yeah.
So basically, this incident happened, and then everyone just decided to keep quiet.
He has pride. I also have pride. But if it was now, I think I'm more matured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have tried more. But yeah.
I hate seeing friendships break like that. But hopefully, both of you put your prides aside and amend things. Whatever happened,
I believe
it can. Right now.
Yeah, I believe it can happen because it was not something big.
But anyway, getting to Medunsa, being a student, how do you become a chairperson?
Oh, how did I become a chairperson? Okay. As I said earlier on, I said I've always been a leader. When I said I was leading some small gangs, privately. And then when I was doing, I think grade 5.
You say that so casually. I was leading gangs.
No, it was just maybe for a lack of a better word. It was not really a gang, but we used to. If maybe you beat one of our own,
that's a gang. We're
going to plan against you, and then when the school closes, that day we're going to close with you, to beat you strong. So another thing that made me to stop those things, that every time we beat someone, even I would never participate in the beating, but I would be involved. Those people will come, and my mother will just give them, or take him. Here is it. I was always home. My mother is very strict. I was always home. She was strict about that. Then I will get a beating, and then my friends are outside there laughing. But now they can run, and they get the protection from their parents. So every time I'm the one getting the beating, and I'm going to be a joke, those things about this one. They were trapping him yesterday. So it demotivated me to continue. And also Memangen, I think she played a very massive role in changing my mindset at that point. Yes. So to come back to your question, which was how do I become a chairperson? So I've always been a leader. I remember we were having this project at school of agriculture, where when I was doing grade 7, we even went to a point of the school won a competition of schools doing agriculture and being innovative. So that was our project. We were able to make sure that the agriculture part is working well, which I was leading. I was even going on weekends. And then you go to soccer. I was also playing soccer. I was always the one. Yeah, I was playing.
Were you playing or were you good?
I always say I was
too different.
I will always say I was good, but I never get the opportunity to really play enough, because I think my mother was against that. She was against me always away. I would get the chance of going out sometimes, but I was not practicing to the point to the level that I would be practicing. So I was leading soccer teams. I've always been a leader, and in the group of friends, I was also the one that was motivating them, the people who was close to me. I was able to to have that influence. So also, when I arrived at SMU, I made sure that I learned the processes of the university. I remember I came here without applying NSFAS. I made sure that I get NSFAS by my own before I could even register. Yeah, so everything that was happening, I made sure that I understand the processes. And I always loved politics. I'm coming from a family that my mother, she loves politics, but she's a Christian.
Yeah,
she
with
loves
how you
them.
dodge questions. Yeah, I see a political side of you.
Yeah, then yeah, so I had the political background. I knew what was happening. My late uncle used to love politics, so they used to talk about even the politics of the entire world, America, Saddam Hussein, such things. So I used to listen. Then that I was very much interested in politics, and I was reading a lot of books that has to do with history. So if you go to my primary school, where I did my primary, they think I did law because I wanted to do law. I loved the books. Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah. I'm doing now. I'm doing my masters in biochemistry.
Doing masters now?
Yes, masters
in biochemistry.
In biochemistry. So that thing of loving politics. Yes.
What's biochemistry? What do biochemists do?
In biochemistry, we do like it's broad. I think it's broad. We deal about the biomechanical or biomechanical pathways.
Put it to someone who only finished matric.
Okay. Let me put it in simple terms. And also the field that I am. I'm specializing in molecular biology, where we do more of genes, and we also try to find.
So basically, you're the people who do clones of people.
Yes, that's biochemistry. We do clones. We do cell culture. We can expand one cell to another. DNA replication, such things. So it's broad. So if they are given a task to explain biochemistry, it has to do with enzymes.
What's enzymes?
Enzymes. I didn't prepare. Yeah, but enzymes are just enzyme. When we have for a reaction to happen, there must be an enzyme that comes and catalyzes that.
Oh, a catalyst.
Yeah, not really. One can say it's similar to a catalyst, but this is a catalyst. Maybe it's more of a man-made. Then the enzyme happen naturally in the body, and then it's specific. Let's take if you want to break down sugar. Or glucose, there must be an enzyme that is going to break at a specific point, going to cleave. Those are the enzymes.
You know the guy who did Qualim?
Yeah. Oh, he did biochemical engineering.
I think he knows him.
Do
you know Qualim?
The soap.
The soap.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's broad. It's very much broad. Yeah, so my field, what we are doing, we are trying to use medicinal plants to find a cure of diabetes, cancer. Yeah.
So when I'm sick, I can still come to you for medicines and whatnot.
We do. So, but we are more interested on, like, when you drink, maybe it's already a known fact that maybe moringa enhances your libido. So as libido? A libido is sexual interest, So we're going to check on how, like, inside the pathways, which part of you is it activated? That's more of biochemistry.
So libido is like the thing that makes you want sex.
Yeah, all the
It's
time.
the
You know,
libido.
when your libido is high, you always want to.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm gonna tempt people. Oh, no, you see, your libido is too high.
No,
Fornicating too much.
they should be telling you. They should be telling you, saying that no, your libido is high. Maybe you're a woman. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I want to understand what does a chairperson do? Like, what do you do?
You know,
You're a chairperson of
of postgraduates.
postgraduates.
Yes, of all postgraduates, which is
Medunzi.
outgoing. Yeah, I mean outgoing chairperson. My term has ended. I think it's going to end at the 25th November.
Oh,
Then we're going to have a new chairperson.
you're going to have a new chairperson, or you're gonna have a new election, and then
No, we already had election. There's a new chairperson called Tandazan Tuli, who was serving as my deputy chairperson. We were having a council. So yeah, he's going to take over, continue with the work. So to come back to your question, a chairperson, I think we do everything that has to do with the students, representing them in all the issues.
yeah,
Financial issues, academic issues. When you are excluded, you are responsible for that particular school. You know, before it can go to maybe to the deputy president or to the president or the SG of the SRC, it must first run through the chairperson.
So basically, you would be the people who initiate body fees must fall and such and such.
Not really. Maybe it will be the entire SRC as a whole. But when your duty is to run the day-to-day operation of that particular group of students.
Take me through like a day of a chairperson. What do you do?
Okay.
From morning.
Okay. You wake up in the morning and then you find more than 120 messages. Those people, they need help. And then while you are still sitting there, saying that a meeting is starting at 10, you know. Yeah, it's a very challenging duty. I feel like in the SRC, chairpersons are the ones that work the most. We do most of the work, and you must be available for all those students. You must represent them. You must be, and it's a lot. And also, while representing them, you are a student. You are representing them to your lecturers, to your, it becomes a big problem. Yeah. But if you love people and you love what you do, obviously you will enjoy it. Yeah.
Because I don't know which year, and I'm not sure if like you were the chairperson at that given year. I remember there was an issue with the radio stations in this school of hiring people from outside.
Yeah.
And I want to understand with you what was happening and why was that an issue?
No, I was not a chairperson. I just heard of it, but I never really paid more attention to it because I don't want to lie. There are some issues where I'm not interested. For example, the one of a radio, I'm not really much interested. It's only now whereby people who are working there, some of them are my friends, and maybe I would listen. But I heard of it. But to answer to that, I think maybe it was more of giving the people that are here the chance also to learn the skills. And because you have people that I think are good, and now they are hiring people that are internal and they are doing a massive job. So I think they were fighting for that.
So what would you say was like your biggest fight as a chairperson in your
as a chairperson? I think it's recently where people think it's even political. It was not. We registered a serious high failure rate in the school. I think it was too much. And then
students failing.
Yeah, students failing. And then we went to the boardroom, discussed, told them that this is alarming, something must be done. There was no appetite from the side of the management. And then we decided that we're going to to boycott all the classes, all the assessments, which took 3 weeks. To a point where there was threats, there was cases being open. Yes, but
Threats?
I won't go into details.
No, don't wait. You can't start something and then want to leave it in the middle.
Yeah, obviously,
What were they threatening?
No, it's always,
Your friend is chuckling.
No, it's a high institution of learning. We have rules.
Yeah.
Obviously, fighting for other things, you break some rules, and I think sometimes you would take it as a threat of saying that you are breaking these rules and what this will happen to you. Yeah, but there was also some cases that were open and withdrawn.
A case of what?
It was a case of saying that it was harassment, molestation, and theft.
So, okay, during the protesting, there was things stolen.
It was a very peaceful protest. I don't want to lie. Yeah. It was led by giants. So we made sure that we don't break anything because we must be responsible. We must protect our infrastructure.
True.
If I will decide to bend this table, tomorrow we won't have a table to sit on. And so if we are fighting academic issues, we must not bend things. Yeah. So I think it was just a way of making us to slow down. But we wanted what we wanted, and I think we won. Yeah.
You think you won? What do you mean by you think you won? And
a lot of those challenges that we were facing, they were addressed, and they are in the process of solving them. Most of them.
What were the problems? Like, why was so many students failing? What was the issue?
There are many reasons. I think it would depend on where you're coming from. There's many elements. There's COVID. There was no proper teaching that was happening from grade 11 to those that are doing final year now. Because of the 2 years. If you were doing grade 11, meaning that now you are doing first year. Yeah. If you were doing grade 12, meaning that now you are doing second year. If you are doing first year, now you are doing third year. So there was a lot of processes and things which us as students. So I won't want to dwell much. It depends on one person to say this is the reason that made us fail and some. So it depends. I think.
But then as an institution on its whole, and then you're raising it's a very alarming issue, as you say, because then if there's so many students failing, that means the issue is within the system of the school, or how they are maybe with lectures and or how they're delivering certain lectures and whatnot. So I'm trying to understand as to what was the issue that was making all these students, and was it only first year students, second year students, or post grads also?
Yeah, all the students. That is why I'm saying that maybe the transition and also the way they used to teach, because there was a time because of the regulations where we were online. Now you come contact, so when it was online, you would go back and check the notes, check, and then now it's contact, and also the time. So I think it was that transition that really made things difficult. Just that obviously when the regulations have been changed and the regulations be lifted, we have to go back to normal. Maybe if the institution took things a bit by bit for adaptation purposes, maybe it was going to be better.
And then what would you say as your biggest frustration?
I'm not a person who's normally get frustrated. I always maintain my cool, but I think maybe I was serving in a committee called JSEC where the students that are excluded because maybe every program has a minimum and maximum time of study. If it's a 3-year program, it's going to have a minimum of 3 years and a maximum of 5 years. Also, if you can fail a module like 2 years consecutive, meaning that you are excluded, those are the rules of the university. So there's a committee called JSEC where we sit there. So my biggest frustration is seeing someone you find that maybe they failed 4 times in a row or something, and there by management in those committees you have people of management where now they were like, no, we can't give this person a chance again. You fight, and you end up not winning because you are outnumbered. You are just 2 out of 10 people that are management, and Bona, I can say that they are sober in terms of they look at the situation the way it is with us, and you find that the person, they've been giving them a chance, but they are not improving. So such things. So you become frustrated where now you want to fight, such things. But I really enjoyed my time as a chairperson. I was loving my job. I was always happy. And I always made sure that even if we can argue in meetings, that doesn't mean that we are fighting. And that's one thing that I always made sure. And I was not taking things personally. Some of the people in the management would also call me after meetings. We deal with this case where we are fighting. In the next case, we are cool. Where they were telling me that, I really, really like how you do things. You don't take things personal, I think I'm not a person with emotions.
With emotions, what do you mean? You say that you understand what you just said is very wrong.
No, I understand, but emotion in terms of I'm not really emotional. I'm always sober. If you say something to me and you are coming from a point where you can say that, it's fine. It's how you are feeling. So I can't be treating you because of one thing that you have said last week when you were angry or when I broke your mic, or something, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So, being a chairperson and fighting all these fights, where do you find the time to date and do other things?
To date?
Are you dating?
Can I please not answer?
No ways.
No. Can I please
no
not answer?
Ways, no ways.
No, can I please not answer?
Why not?
No, I know that one.
Is there a special person in your life? Yes or no? You have to think about it then.
It's complicated. I don't want to talk about it.
It's complicated. It's the same situation with the friend.
No, it's not. I think, the positions that we are also holding and stuff, I think I like my life being,
No, okay. We don't want the name of the person. We just want to understand.
No, okay. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, there is. There is.
Is it like that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm understanding. How do you balance everything? Because that's where my question was going. Where do you how do you find the balance between doing school, being a chairperson, and having to deal with everybody's problems, and then having to have a woman in your life that cuddles and do all the things that couples do?
I don't want to lie, my brother. It's been hectic. I'm a person who's also a family person, where I'm used to talking to my family every day or every 2 days. Yeah, every time I get. So my relationship has been affected, but I think I was trying my relationships. I was trying to explain that I'm busy because I'm also doing masters. I must travel to TUT, do my lab work that side. I must do. I must. So it's been hectic. It's been hectic. Yeah.
So what would you say is the biggest thing that made your relationships fail previously?
My relationships.
Yeah.
I'm a person who really. I think I'm very good with relationships.
You think you're very good?
Yeah,
Those are the
I'm-
people who are not good.
No, I think I'm very good
Yeah.
because I'm able to hold to one relationship for a while. But
What's a while?
maybe 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah, 3 years. So maybe to answer your question, as you grow, there are some things that will change.
Yeah.
Or maybe you find that you do wrong things, and then some of the things one person tolerate, and then they get tired. So I believe that every relationship that one have, especially when you are still a teen and going up, it just prepares you to be a better person. So maybe when the relationship ends, you must be able to look and to reflect.
You're not answering my question. My question was, what was the one thing in your previous relationships that you can acknowledge and say this is where I was fucking up here? That's why they ended.
Maybe not being a loyal at some point there and there. Yeah.
A lot of us struggle with that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no,
you know one thing also is that women don't understand men,
Yeah.
and I think the day they will start understanding men, that's where they're going to understand that some of the things we don't do it because we hate them or we don't love them.
Yeah.
3 men can just go to Cape Town and then find people to have fun there. While there's a person maybe in Joburg that they are in love with. But when the woman finds out, she would think, well, you stop loving her and stuff. I think men are people who goes with pleasure than feelings and stuff. But I think maybe that will be another conversation. Yeah, Mara.
No, it's a conversation. You can always say.
I mean, when you grow up, those small things that come that can cost your relationship and stuff. Then you stop doing them. Because I think you are a man, you know how we think, you know how we do things,
I've been dumped way too many times because of this podcast. So can I I not answer that? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So please don't do me like that. But then no, I totally understand what you mean. I think it's also because of it's not you can love someone and still decide to cheat.
No, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, but
it happens
anyway.
in most cases. Because even when we are friends, I think I would know that my friend is in love with that girl, that one. Then there was going to be that one there and stuff. So I think maybe Kima Dimon, maybe we need a prayer as men and stuff, man.
Men's conference.
Yeah, men's. Yeah.
All the entire prayer session for gents is just say, hey guys, no, we need to stop. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, but I'm no longer doing those things. I've grown.
Which political party are you?
Yeah, I'm SCF.
SCF, what's
yeah, SCF.
Oh, Student Christian Fellowship.
Yeah, Student Christian Fellowship.
So it's mostly.
It's a political structure that operates on Christian basis. So obviously we also have a church at 6. We're going to have every Sunday we have a church service where we meet and pray. And then we also have a political wing. We participate in SRC elections. Every year we send a person to SRC to go and represent us, represent students, represent the views of Christians, do things in a manner of Christ base. Yeah, we've been
what
doing that.
What does that mean, doing things in a manner of Christ base?
Obviously, when making decisions, if there's a Christian there, there's always going to be an element of saying that, no, we can't do this. this, maybe we want to write a communique, or we can't put this. This is not such thing. So there's a lot where one can say that the involvement of SCF in the politics of SMU, or in the decision making of SMU, has been vital and has been instrumental in shaping our campus. Obviously, we are the minority. We don't have that much say, but I think students are starting to trust us more. For the first time in history of SCF, we got 3 seats, which I think are
3 seats
in the SRC, which I think is great results. Yeah. Yeah.
So previous years you were getting how many seats?
Last year we got 2, and we were able to deploy a Secretary General and a postgraduate chairperson through me. So this year we won 2 schools, School of Medicine, School of Postgrads. We retained postgrads, and then we also got 1 general. So which is
what does
good.
1 general mean?
We have 9 positions. There's 9 general positions and 6 school council positions. So in the 6 we got 2, in the 9 we got 1. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. So as a political party and as somebody dealing with politics, so where now do you feel our South African politics are missing it?
Everywhere. I think one thing that we are lacking is to put the people that put you in power first.
Yeah.
Checking into political of the higher institute, I mean the of national politics, even provincial.
Yeah.
It's more about them. It's more about specific individuals where they do dealings that will favor them, will enrich them, while the people of South Africa are suffering. I think it's one thing that we are lacking. And I realize that one would say that, Mukhari, you did very well in your term as a postgrad chair. It's because I was led by the people. I was listening to the people. I was living with the mandate of the people. But if you already have a mandate that I'm going to enrich this and this and this, it's going to suffer, That is why I think we are also not doing well. And also the politics, if I come to politics of the SMU, they are more management has a role to play, and they are trying by all means to divide us as students, where you find that some political leaders or student leaders, they are siding with certain people of management, which it affects. You find that as long as you are disagreeing with that part, or you are your handlers are disagreeing with that particular person, even if that person is instrumental to the institution, you don't care. So it's one thing that is also killing our politics. Students are more involved in management politics, which I'm not, I don't want to. Because I always value the students that go there and vote for us to make a change, put ink on your finger, and then now you're going to betray them. It's something which I think I would never do.
So basically they side with the school.
With the management.
With the management of the school.
Yes.
They should be siding with the students.
Yes, obviously not directly, indirectly, in a point where you advance the interest of management. And I think by doing so, you're taking the powers away from the students. Yeah. So it's one thing that leaders really need, even the upcoming leaders, they really need to consider that. Because also one thing that you must know is that these people are going to use you. Every year we have a new SRC. They are always going to see those ones that are coming, which it yields a position of those leaders that went there before. They become handlers of other young leaders so that they can control them. They make them to shift in one direction so that it can continue advancing their interest, which I think it's not yielding good leaders. You find that someone is a former member of SRC, but they know nothing because you were just a front of that office, which I think it's killing us, because this is a platform that must also make us realize our capabilities to even go up there nationally, provincially, represent the people of South Africa, you know.
Do you have inspirations of being a national leader at some point in time?
I always had, you know, I always loved the man of Mbeki and how he does things. I watch a lot of but I always had a problem with the political structure that I must choose. Can I go pee?
Of course.
Yes, I'm coming. I will continue where I left. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm coming, gents.
Welcome back from the ad break. Welcome back from the pee break.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're answering the question about having aspirations about...
Yeah, no, I always, you know, I used to be a member of the ANC when I was still young. I think I did say
What's
that...
still young?
Very young. Maybe... I think I stopped being a member or supporting. I was not a member, maybe support.
Yeah.
After the second term of Zuma being a president. I remember being hurt so much when Mbeki lost in that conference where Zuma became the leader of ANC. Yeah. So I always followed the politics. I loved politics, but it became a point where like I stopped liking the ANC. I remember even that time I was supporting Cope in a way where like there was that split.
But then Cope is like the baby of ANC.
Yeah, it's a baby of ANC. I was agreeing with the other wing than the other wing. Then also when there was a split, when Malema left and Floyd, they started EFF. I started loving EFF also, supporting them.
Yeah.
And then there was other things that I didn't like about them. Then there was Action SA, which I'm giving them a chance. So the reason is that I'm not really politically inclined with any structures because I don't believe the way they do things, you know.
What are the things that you don't believe?
The corruption that is currently happening, using public funds for their own.
Within all the political.
With the EFF, you know, I love Malema.
Yeah.
I love Malema as a person. I love watching him.
Yeah.
The same thing with Ace. I love Ace a lot. You know, I can watch his interview even if it's 8 hours. But I don't love what he does. I love him, the way he talks, what he say in interviews. But what he does, his leadership. So with one reason that I don't like Malema is that he always changes, and some of the things, for example, not trying to be a xenophobic. If we are a developing country, if you are saying that you're going to open the borders, and that already it has a direct impact in our economy and other things that he say today is this one is good, tomorrow I want a person who is going to stay firm with their ideas throughout. But if you believe in free education, you should believe and support free education, come rain, come sunshine. So you must always be a leader that we know that if this man is talking about this, we can even be sangomatic with the person who wrote this quote is Mukhari. Because Mukhari, I mean by just,
Before you answer that question, I want to ask something, especially on the issue of corruption.
Yeah.
Usually organizations, they at times use state funds to their branches. Are you aware? Okay, usually organizations,
they
get somebody who's into, let's say, tender process.
Yeah.
they give that guide so that the person is able to control their campaign.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Now with SCF,
Yeah.
they are within the SRC spectrum, right? Meaning they are contesting elections
Yeah.
or they are governing in SMU.
Yeah.
So how do they?
Question how get the lane. I understand what you're trying to ask.
Yes.
And
yeah.
then you should have kept it short. Like, who's paying for your campaigns?
Yeah.
Currently, SMU give us 14,000 for campaigns,
14K.
14K, and then they also give structures 20K in the beginning of the year. And then we also do other things, fundraise and stuff in the church. So we are not really doing well in terms of resources. We don't have funders, we don't have handlers. We are on our own. So I think that is why we have this much freedom of doing whatever we want. We are not given a mandate, yeah.
Yeah, so I was asking, what did you say?
Being sangomatic.
Sangomatic.
No, sangomas, they can see things or they
yeah, today, we learn every day.
Yeah.
Being sangomatic. So, but then when you say Malema has like a firm stand on this open border, even after receiving so much backlash, so wouldn't that prove the fact that
but I'm not agreeing with that. Simply, I'm not agreeing with that. I think when you back up something, you must be agreeing with the ideas, what they are pushing for, the mission and the vision. I'm not agreeing with that. But one thing that I'm agreeing with is that they play a massive factor in cutting the big elephant, ANC, in collapsing it.
Yeah.
They are doing very much well, and I so wish that they grow so big. And then, but right now, I'm a person of service delivery. Action SA, I think the leader did well when he was still a mayor. So now if elections come, I think I would go for
Action SA.
Unless if
I see
they
you're
are
not
changing.
even mentioning DA.
DA, no, it's not in my mind. What is that? Yeah.
What is the biggest? Why do black people have like this big fight with the DA?
No, it's how they treat our leaders. Look at how they treated Helman Mashau. Look how they treated Musimaiman. Like you can see that they are racist. It's not something that you can
push.
Say
this is like the same way COPE has been treating their leader currently. Wouldn't you say?
No, COPE is not doing well. Even with the former, I don't know, I'm not really following their politics.
Yeah.
But recently they were having a problem where this leader, it's Lukota, right?
Yeah.
So, you want to be Mugabe there. We need new fresh blood. You can't be in a position for years and the structure is not growing, it's not doing well, but you still want to be the one that is making decisions. So I believe that sometimes one thing that is important is to have your time lead and then go back and just advise. Those that have new, fresh mind, they have ambitions, they are inclined with social medias and what.
Yeah. Because my thing was because you still get the same racist treatment from other black people within structures. If you can look at the way they were treating Thabo Mbeki when he was, the things that they were saying about Mbeki when he was being thrown out at that given time, when Zuma was coming in, the smear campaign that they were pushing him and Julius. When they were big friends.
Yeah.
So when the DA does it,
but that's not racism.
No, but then I'm saying all these black structures are doing these things to other black people. when the DA does it, why is it such a big hoo-ha?
No, I think maybe if we can break down this. We have politics, and in politics there's always going to be fights.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be cabals.
Yeah.
Now we're going to the national elections. The ANC must choose who is going to be the ANC leader. That must be a president in a situation where they win. Obviously, there are going to be cabals, and then you don't expect these two cabals to be loving and what. Then after election, after that organization elections, that is where they're going to make up. So those things are very normal. To see people like Malima at that time when he was a president of the Youth League, saying that Mbeki is a dictator and stuff.
Yeah,
he was right, and he had all the rights to do that. He was very right. He didn't support a person who would go for third term. Give other people a chance, such things. So I think those are the politics. Then we come to racism.
Yeah.
A structure that is just using black people as a front when they are doing well, and then now you want to take charge, those things. So that is one thing that will make DA not to do well. So if you go to Action SA, you have whites and black, they are still doing well. Maybe it will reach to a point where they still not, they do those things. But racism, we talk about whites mistreating black people, whites being a race and black being a race. So black to black is not racism. Yeah. And also black to white is racism. You can say that Malima is yes, racist. You can also say at some point Malima was a racist. He was racist on some point. Okay. Or I'm being racist at some point in this interview. You can say that. So that's the element.
White people.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with white people. I'm just analyzing.
No, I'm asking if black people can be racist to white people.
Yes, and they can.
Is that a possibility?
Yes, and they can be racist to Indians. They can be racist to other races. Yeah.
Okay. Sass.
Yeah.
So let's say you wake up, you're a president. What are we changing?
President of what?
The nation.
There's a lot that I would change. Firstly, I will start with our education system.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look, we are producing a lot of graduates that are not going to even get a job. We are moving away to things that are going to give employment. People like things like ICT, computer, media, and other things. We're still doing things that people are just going to get degrees, and we are using NSFAS to pay for those things. I think it's just a waste. There are courses that should be put first. We have a lot of minerals in the country. We should be processing that. We should be making phones. We should be, there's a lot that I would do. But firstly, it would be education. Our education system is not up to par.
It's not up to par with what?
I mean, it's not good. Compared to, I can even compare it to the education of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
There, you are taught to, when you are doing your primary and high school, there's a skill that you are being taught. You're going to be taught electricity, carpentry, those things, sauroka, or other sewing, or other things. So you become a doctor at the end of the day that can still do carpeting. So meaning that in a situation where you don't get a job, you can still start a business. So our country doesn't support entrepreneurship, and that is why we'll never go anywhere.
Don't you think it's also within the black community's problem where such jobs or such skills are being ridiculed and looked down upon, especially when you're doing bargaining? I remember they were teasing Julius Malema saying he got a degree in carpentry or something.
Yeah,
In
no,
woodwork.
yeah, woodwork. Yeah, I think, yeah, they were doing that. I think as a leader, you must be able to change the mindset of your people. I'm telling you that the mindset that the people that I'm leading before I came to office is different. I become so open with them, even with the processes, the challenges that we are facing, and what we are moving, where we are moving. So this thing of just blaming apartheid, blaming the colonizers, I think we must find a way where we put a stop, because we are going down, and because it's the lack of leadership. The rent, when I was growing up, it used to be 14 rand, rent to dollar.
Yeah.
$1 it was 11 rands there during the time of Zuma. But it's going up now, like up,
Yeah.
losing value.
So we're changing the education system. What else are we changing?
There's a lot. I think also this thing of the ministers, you find that the minister of Minister of Education didn't even go to school, such things. I think you must appoint people who are professional, who are well experienced in that field.
Yeah.
You can't be a minister of police where you are never a policeman. Those things must start there. You understand the field better than anyone. So this thing of just appointing people because comrades or because they went to prison for a longer year. So we must appoint people based on their capacity, what they can bring to the people, And I realized if now I'm doing postgrad and I'm leading postgrads, I will have a certain love for postgrads, because that's what defines me. That you would never want, if you're a minister of minister of police and what you will never want to see a policeman being mistreated, because maybe you were once mistreated, such things. And also if you are an educator, and then you end up being a minister or you are a lecturer, you understand the struggles and the things that from first hand, the things that you would want to change. So those are the second thing that I would do in terms of appointing.
It's education, we're eliminating comrade employment.
Yeah, cadreship deployment. Deployment. Yeah, no, I think with me, it's what you can bring, It's what you can bring. Whether you are black, you are blue, you are white, you are pink, you are my friend, you are not my friend. It's better I make you my friend because you are good. I heard you so that there's a lady that passed here. I said she's well good. I like her ideas and stuff. Yeah. We are not coming from the same organization. If there's I had to be something. Yeah. People like that I would prefer. That's my thinking and the way I do things.
BEE as a structure, are we removing it? Are we keeping it?
Which one is that?
BEE.
Black
black
in black economic what empowerment,
because now that's where the what you were saying, employing people based on their rates instead of
that I think is one element that killed us, because now this issue of tenders, I would also remove it. In the olden days, you had a company that was responsible for the tar road throughout South Africa. It was them. Now you're going to have a tender. That tender will be given to a black that is friends with the leadership of the day, which is a problem. So with that, I think it at this moment should also be removed. maybe we would just appoint a company for that particular time, and then we change. We just change. Maybe after 5 years, there's serious review, or 3 years, serious review. Are you improving or you are going down? Such things. Because now you find a company that was opened 12 days ago, getting a tender. You ask yourself, a tender of so many millions. You ask yourself, how did it happen? You know. So corruption is it's a big factor that is taking us down, which I think with corruption would never go anywhere. So we must eradicate corruption, and we must find all means necessary. And another thing that I would do is that I would promote people to start businesses, to do things that has to do with farming. Agriculture has a lot of money. Yeah, and the issue of land, obviously. Yeah, the issue of land. I think it's a big factor that our greats really didn't do justice, because we can't really, as black people, we can get so much tenders. That is why you see black people, they are when they say they are rich, they will show you their car. Or I'm driving a big car. My car is bigger than everyone else, you know, it's expensive than everyone else. But you go to a white, they will find that they have this Toyota, white Toyota, that is very old, but they are filthy, they are very much rich. So I think also we have to work on the mindset of black people, of thinking that owning a business, you are poor. Being into business, you are poor, you are struggling. Because also with me, I used to have a business when I was doing grade 3.
You were having a business.
There's a lot of things that I can say about me, you won't believe it. You know, I started going to town to buy grocery at the age of 8. When I was doing grade 2, I would go to town and buy grocery.
What business is this in grade 3?
No, I was selling sweets, different kind of sweets. I remember we once had this other trip that I paid for myself. It was doing well. My business was doing well.
You were paying bills in grade 3?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it's one story. Maybe the people that know me, they will comment in the podcast saying that no, the man is not lying.
He's been paying bills since he was in grade 3.
Not really bills.
I know, like not, but then.
Yeah, but I was having a business. It was doing well. I remember very well. I would make a minimum of 150.
That's a lot.
At that time, because I was selling the stock weights, those ones, and yes, and nice sweets, which I was making that good money.
Speaking about businesses, there was somebody, what's his name? Mashau. What happened?
No, I think the issue of Mashau in 2019.
Okay, let me just give it context.
Yeah.
So Mashau was somebody who had businesses operating within the school premises of Medunzi. Just so everybody is with an understanding as to who we're talking about and what happened. And then he was expelled or fired, or what happened?
Yeah, no, I think I'm in the SRC.
Yeah.
And those that were in the SRC also, they can also concur with what I'm going to say. So I think it was in 2019 or 2020. We lost a student. May his soul rest in peace. By the name of Hunat, where the cafeteria has to be closed, forced to be closed. You remember?
I remember
Yes, so the university started being serious of the food outlets on campus.
She passed away because of the food.
It was said to be food poisoning and what. She ate at the cafeteria. To date, the cafeteria of the university has closed. The people that were working here went to work as security, some are cleaners, because they were permanent. So at that point, also the university, I think it was the time of Professor, the VC, Professor De Beers, where they sent a letter to Mashau, telling him about this thing. So he got some protection from some members of the management, which I'm not going to say who, given that there's no business that is currently operating and is not selling food that are really, such reasoning. And then there was another one that was sent by the acting VC of that time, Professor Liken Ayusef, about the compliance, where they started to investigate him, to check how is he complying, does he have a certificate and such things. Unfortunately, it had to happen this year in our term, where students thought it was the SRC or some members of the SRC who removed, but that was a process that was ongoing, and it was even discussed in the council level. Council is the highest decision making body of the university, that every other body can say whatever they say, but once council approves. So I think that's what I can say to give the background. So it was removed by the processes of the university. It was not really people or certain students. We all needed Mashau, but he was not complying. And that was also putting the university under the risk, because also if a student is going to eat there and claim that I'm sick because of this, can even sue the university, because once you are inside the university, anything that happens, if you are legally here, anything that happens within the university space, the university has to take a responsibility of that. So they were just trying to regulate, which is not something we're agreeing with, because I remember we even had a meeting just that as the SRC, that the university must bring someone who is going to sell to us if they're taking away Mashau. Such things. Yeah, it made a lot of noise.
Yeah. No, I understood. And I think I'm in agreement with actually food outlets having to comply with food regulations and everything. On a lighter note, I see you're a Pirates fan. Oh, but then it's not a lighter note. It's a sad note.
No, I'm a Chiefs fan.
You're a Chiefs fan?
Yes.
Wait. I saw you on a picture wearing a Bagania jersey. I'm so disappointed.
No, I think you didn't see me. I would never do that.
I know.
One thing, let me tell you two things that I would never do in my life. For now. I would never wear an ANC t-shirt.
How?
I would never wear a Bacania t-shirt.
You know what? Julius once said, my blood is black, green, and gold.
Yeah, but I said for now. For now. Yeah.
So one day we might convert you to become a Bacania fan.
No, that won't happen. No, that won't happen. Maybe I can get someone who's selling them and say, no, Chief, take 15 here, but I will give my comrades who say, I'm fine.
So you're a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, I'm a big Chiefs fan. A die-hard fan.
I guess we are arch enemies now.
No, we are. So how are you feeling though? Is your heart stable?
I'm recovering. I had to put my phone on flight mode yesterday.
And
nice.
Were not nice. And the person who was haunting you guys, it's your product. You taught him to do that.
Imagine.
You know.
Imagine. From the academy.
Yeah, it
A whole
means
marathon.
something that you really have to take care of your people. They must not leave.
Chiefs supporters celebrating like they won the cup. No, guys, it's okay.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
you know. We, I think winning against Pirates is always a big thing, and even when Chiefs is not on form, but when it's derby, they play so well. I think it's just one of those big games that everyone expected to be lit. The
Yeah.
players they put their all. It becomes so amazing. It's just that things have changed. In the olden days, even when there's a Chiefs and Pirates game, even the weather would be different in the morning. You would see something big is going to happen. You know, it would be a different day. But now it's no longer that big. I think Sundowns has been dominating. It's been doing well. Yeah.
But then, sometimes we chow Sundowns. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Anything you want to close it off with? Or any last words? Any last remarks?
Yeah. No. Last words. I would say that.
Don't put it like that. Then you're about to die.
No, I still have. God, I still have a lot of things to fulfill.
Yeah.
I still want to play a role in the community, helping people. I want to make sure I change lives. I want to do well. I want to, our youth.
Yeah.
For example, where I'm coming from, a lot of them are not doing well.
Yeah.
I want to play a role there in making sure that they find themselves, they do well, they become, because some of them I know they're very smart, but growing in an area like that, it limits you. Yeah. So to the students of SMU, I would just say that we're really thankful for the love that they've been showing us, they've been showing me as a student leader, and it keeps me going. Yeah, and also the colleagues that I work with, they are really amazing people. Yeah. Also, words to you guys. Continue doing the good work. We want to see you on TV soon.
TV is dead. Not going on TV.
Oh, you don't want it to?
I don't play.
No, we just want the brands to start marketing on the platform.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just need people to sponsor the show, come advertise on the show. And yeah, man, I think that's our biggest goal. And you guys need to start getting a salary, guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, but you must, when you are building something, you must be patient. You must be patient. You must love one another. You must support one another. Like once one start drifting or thinking of starting their own thing, that's where you find most structures were going to do well, but because of
Is that why you broke up with your friend?
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's a force, that one. It's we wouldn't fight over that.
No.
And also, I don't think I would fight anyone or be fought because of money or something. I'm someone who's very open. I communicate. I'm fair. I love people. I love seeing people happy. Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, Culture Spotlight, we out.
Cheers.
Thank you.